welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Entirety of the internet. I know you're all there. Hello.
Somewhere.
I mean, they are there somewhere, yeah, sure. Hello, this is our Devlog series in which we will be documenting the creation and design of our fantasy RPG video game. It's going to be single player, have a linear story but open world, so you can walk around and go anywhere you want. It's going to be two-dimensional with top-down exploration. The battles are going to be first-person with turn-based combat, and we want it to have a light and whimsical feel, be fun and engaging, but there will be a few story elements or things within the battles that could be considered not suitable for young children. A sprinkle of darkness in an otherwise cheery and whimsical world.
Yeah. So the aims for the game, we want an immersive world that feels lived in and alive. We wanted to make something which was fun and enjoyable. And with that, we thought it was important to avoid some of the negative trends within the gaming industry. For instance, this game will have 0 paywalls. There won't be a subscription service that you will forget about and have to continue paying. There won't be in-game shop where you spend loads and loads of real money. We wanted a game where you can buy it for a fixed price and then you own it. Yeah.
So in terms of the storyline of the game, you are a character, naturally, and your dad gets trapped in the demon realm, and your job is to go and save him from the demon realm. But in doing so, you unleash all of the hordes of demons into your world, and then must vanquish them and save everyone from the demon scourge. So just to introduce ourselves, I'm John.
And I'm George.
I'm going to be doing all of the music and art, sound effects and story text for the game.
And I'm going to be doing all the programming, back-end stuff, which you won't notice unless I mess up.
Hopefully.
Which I won't.
Well, hopefully you'll notice some of it, because there will be some kind of unique mechanics that we want to implement into the game.
Yes, and that will be me. As you might be able to guess, we are both in our late 20s. We have been friends for about 15, 16 years now, a very long time. And we're UK based.
Yes.
We met in secondary school.
That's like high school, if you don't know.
And we lived locally, just round the corner from each other. When I first came to the realization that I wanted to make a game, I very soon realized that my artistic skills weren't quite up to scratch. I didn't want to use the default art or music, and I soon realized that a lot of the skills I was lacking. So I wanted to bring John on board, and very early on, anything and everything that I passed to him, he did beyond my expectation.
And recently we moved into the same house, so that means it's a lot easier to collaborate on the game, and we don't need to be sending each other messages all the time. We can actually just sit down and discuss what we want to do next. The game engine that we're using is RPG Maker VX Ace. It's a relatively old engine, it's quite a few years old now, but we see that as a benefit because it's a trusted system that is reliable, and a lot of people can vouch for it, that it's stable and works properly, which is not something you would get if you went with a kind of cutting edge early development game engine. There are also a lot of pre-existing utilities made by the RPG Maker community, which we can implement into our game to improve how it runs. Another benefit is that because it's an old system, it will run on basically any old Windows machine as well as new ones. And we are going to look into making a port for Mac so you can play it on your Apple computer.
So the default battle system in RPG Maker is very clunky and restrictive, and I have managed to redo and rebuild a lot of that from basically the ground up, so that we can include many more aspects that we want into the battle system, and improve it in ways that we wouldn't have been able to do before. So if you have played a lot of RPG Maker games, this will be a new feel for you. Oh, perfect.
This goes on for 5 minutes.
It's a 5-minute song.
It is. Speaking of music, I wanted to show you some examples of the art and music that you will find throughout the game. I'm going to play some of the music in its current state underneath the images that you see on screen. The art consists of 2 different art styles, one of which is this hand-drawn style, using pens on paper and then scanning in the images. These are used for cutscenes that highlight important story events, backgrounds during the battle scenes, as well as creatures that you face in battle. The creatures that you encounter will be a combination of classic mythological creatures, a few real-world creatures, and new creatures that you've never seen before. When you explore the world and the levels within it, you'll see this pixel art style. Some of the elements in the levels will be animated, and there will be little animations when you open cupboards, for example, and things like that. The characters that you converse with will appear in the hand-drawn style, but they will also have a pixel art sprite that moves around the map, which you can interact with. None of this media is finalized yet, so expect to see changes to some of the images, and the music still needs to be properly mixed and mastered before it can be implemented into the final game. So regarding this devlog video series, we want to show some of the design process of the game and some of its construction, and talk about why we made certain choices and how we implemented them. But we also want to get the community engaged with the project and potentially leaving feedback and suggestions for how we might improve the game or things they might want to see in it. Each episode that we do is going to cover a specific topic, so potentially a piece of music, or the design of a level, or one of the systems that we're using. The videos themselves will vary in length depending on what the content is that we're addressing, and we're even thinking of potentially doing some live streams where we stream live the process of maybe drawing some of the art, or doing some of the programming, or
maybe just even a Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A.
We feel that live streams might give us a better understanding of how you guys are feeling, and
also just kind of direct, instantaneous interaction and conversation with viewers.
Exactly.
We want this series to appeal to both players of the game or games in general, and also creators. So anyone who might be interested in making art or music or a video game of their own, hopefully there will be some nuggets of information and some insight into our process, so you can say, oh no, I don't want to do it like that, or that's a great idea, I want to do something like that myself.
Or even just to, plan the game out would be the first tip that I would give.
Yeah. When we started the game, we kind of dove into it and then just started making it. And then later in the game making process, we decided that it was underplanned, and we wanted to essentially start at the beginning again with a solid plan.
Yes.
And that has been a huge turning point for the game and the quality of pretty much every
Everything,
aspect of it.
Yeah.
So plan your game.
Yeah. Tip 1.
Top tip number 1: plan out your game, then make it. We want people to be able to follow us on social media so that they can see what we're up to in terms of making the game and, have some input maybe. We've got an Instagram account in addition to this YouTube channel. There's a link in the description. I think officially it's called a doobly-doo.
What?
I think the official term for a YouTube description is a doobly-doo.
Well, that's news to me.
Oh. If you wanted to make a more concrete contribution to the game, there's a website called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can buy us a coffee, or more realistically, a cup of tea or some squash, a bottle of squash, I guess. It's just where you can make a small donation to help out with the costs of making the game. If you're feeling very generous and you want to make a bigger contribution to the game, there's an option to buy 5 coffees on the site, and if you do that, we will let you name one of the NPCs in our game, one of the non-player characters. And that could be any name you want. It can be your name, but we will have a few guidelines and we'll have to approve it so that you don't put anything offensive or, just like
Random.
x3 4x underscore
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Because that's not what humans are called. But if you wanted to call them, I don't know, sand shrew, you could do that.
Oh, I don't know if we'll be able to do that.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, for copyright reasons,
Yeah.
there won't be an NPC called sand shrew in our game.
However, if you have a favourite name like Tom, Alice, Jerry, we can use one of those names, and I think it'll be a nice little treat to see your chosen name in our game.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again later on in the series. Not that we'll actually see you unless you send us a photo of yourself. Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't.
Um,
But other than that, I think thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you for your interest in our game, and well done for making it through this introduction video. The following installments or episodes will have more content for the game and therefore probably be more interesting than this one. See you next time.
Bye.
Yeah, that was good. Shame about the washing machine.
Yes, I do wonder how loud that will be.
So I'll just put a little thing and it'll humanise us, just be like, oops, washing machine is loud.
Yeah.
And everyone will be like, I can relate.
Yeah. Beyond my
Bum bum?
to say? Bum. Yeah. Beyond my bum.
It's a Teletubby with rocket boots.
That's what they were always missing from Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Rocket boots.